Test one, two, three. Test one, two, three. Test one, two, three. Test one, two, three. Hello, Kelly. I've been really busy because I got 3 courses and I'm trying to graduate this term. So I really didn't get a lot of time to play around with this. So I threw this together as a way that I would try and present this in obviously a much more professional format than what you're going to see here. But the New Intellect is a book that is intended to look at what it is in the 21st century that we have to rely on for us to become or remain successful and healthy and have meaningful lives. And we can see why this is happening. And in the early 1970s, we saw transistor gates of only about 10,000 or 15,000 transistor gates, and now we've moved up into the 30 million transistor gates, and it's moving exponentially. And so as a result of that, we're now to the point where it almost requires that we have a new intellect on the way we look at our lives and how we plan for our children as well, because we're now going to have to be considering the fact that we're going to have lifespans of over 100 years. And right now, I think the lifespans are being predicted at about 70. And truthfully, when I was being raised, I never thought I'd make it past 50. 55 was pretty good. And so that's one part. And once you realize that you're going to live to be 100 years old or somewhere in that range, you have to have the ability to be able to change careers, because our society is changing so quickly with the technology base and the way we're learning that we're to the point where we have to learn the importance of learning. We have to learn how to learn. In other words, if I need to have a job in the next year associated with a sector of the business that I'm somewhat interested in, because my business is no longer prevalent or is falling out of use, then I have to be able to learn that subject. So I have to learn how to learn. And by doing that, you're building in that process relationships with your colleges, your libraries, your internet sources, and those resources are now making it possible for us to do anything that we really wish to do if we know how to learn the subject associated with it. So, and that here again, it falls back into the point that intelligence is really not something that magically shows up in somebody's mind. It's based on their amount of time that they're really willing to put into it and the amount of effort that they're willing to spend on learning. So, and we see this now in commercials a lot, that, the new rich is really the fact that we have multiple degrees and we can take different types of jobs. So intelligence is becoming the replacement of having lots of money, because if you're really intelligent, or you have intelligence and you're willing to spend the time to get the intelligence, then you will live a very, very wonderful life. And then, from there, communication is so vital to where we're going now. And we're now learning how to communicate in different languages. We're learning how to communicate in different styles. Obviously, I'm using a video style here because it is quicker and easier for me to compile this information and send it back over to you and process it. So And then we do have, our electronic communications that we're doing via Skype. And then we're doing a lot of public speaking nowadays, because when we do a video and we pop it up on YouTube for people to come and look at, it becomes very similar to public speaking. So with that in mind, the new Intellect is really a research project that is trying to seek to find the answers of how to be very successful in the upcoming 21st century as technology continues to advance.